or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Community with me, Melissa Sandfield. We're here and today is February. Why do I keep going back to February? Today is May 11th and we have some beautiful guests with us today. We have Mr. Armin Ross. He's from the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce. I'm happy to have him here, and my other beautiful guest. She's been here before and her company's been here before, from Rise Financial Pathways, Miss Foresi Rawls Holmes. Did I say that right? I didn't. Holmes Rawls. Hogan. I said everything wrong. Oh my God. And I thought we were friends. Isn't that amazing? So we're going to speak to her once we're done speaking to Mr. Armin. I would like to welcome you to my show. Welcome, Mr. Armin Ross.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm so excited that you're here. Can you give us a little background about the chamber and how you became the president?
Well, it's the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce. I have been a member for about the last 7 years or so. And, like most members, I was just going to the general membership meetings. I would go to some of the mixers and some of the other fundraisers and just kind of mingle and exchange and fellowship and talk to other business owners like most other people. And then a few years ago, I started getting more involved with the chamber. I started sponsoring some of the meetings and events. And slowly but surely, the past president, Michael Jones, kind of roped me in and said, okay, Armin, I'm ready to move on to bigger and better things, which he was ready for. He had been there about 6 or 7 years. And he asked me if I would take over, and his board of directors said, okay, and they voted me in, and here I am. And that was the end of 2012.
Wow, that's wonderful. So we're going to say hey to Mike Jones because he's my fellow Toastmaster and Justice Master. So like I was telling you, I read about that you were his successor.
Yes.
And that you have a great background, too. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, it's not all that great. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. I'm a graduate of UCLA and also Southwestern Law School. Spent most of my career.
Not that great, y'all. Go ahead.
Spent most of my career in politics. I worked with Senator Nate Holden at the time, back in 1976. I know that's dating me, and was also on his staff for about 10 years when he was a city councilman. I was the assistant chief of staff. And once he was termed out of office, I was then a director and deputy mayor for Mayor Jim Hahn for 2 years of his, the last 2 years of his administration. And I've also been involved in many political campaigns. I'm also a political campaign strategist to some degree.
Wow. And he said he's not that great. I say that again. I understand that there are a lot of great things going on in the Crenshaw Corridor. Can you tell us about those things?
Yes, things are happening in the Crenshaw Corridor right now. The biggest thing and the best thing that's happened in a long time is that we have the Crenshaw LAX line that's coming right down Crenshaw between Exposition and about 60th Street. There's going to be a lot of construction, and we're hoping that that construction and in conjunction with the stations that we will have there, we'll have a couple of underground stations there at MLK and at Leimert Park, that it will spur development along the Crenshaw corridor. There's already some great development going on. The District Square project is coming in there at Crenshaw and Rodeo Road. That's going to be major retailers coming into our area for the very first time. For many of them, we're hoping that it brings with it major restaurants and other, maybe a hotel is in the future. Who knows? We also have a Kaiser Medical Facility coming in the Marlton Square area. It's going Kaiser has purchased 8 acres of the Marlton Square area, and they're coming in with a 100,000 square foot medical facility. It's going to be really, really nice. It won't be a hospital, and there won't be any emergency care, but there'll be outpatient pharmacy, labs. You can go and visit your doctor, get your routine physicals and checkups, the OBGYN, everything except the hospital stay and emergency services. So it's Kaiser's commitment to our community. We're very, very happy to have them. I know that they have wanted to and have needed to locate more into the South Los Angeles area. There are many, many Kaiser I don't want to call them patients, Kaiser members in the South Los Angeles area. I'm a Kaiser member too.
Yes, I am too.
And I am happy that they're there. Now, I don't know if my doctor will come down there, but I'm going to encourage her to come there when I have my yearly checkups.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. So a lot of great things going on. I see the construction. I see that there are going to be great things going on in the Crenshaw corridor. And tell us about this great meeting that you're having, this luncheon next week.
Well, we are very, very fortunate and privileged and happy that Mayor Eric Garcetti is going to be the keynote speaker for our June 17th general membership meeting.
Wow.
It's going to take place at 12 noon on June 17th at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza, which is where we have all of our monthly meetings. And this one will be on the bridge, the little area that's over MLK between Macy's and the balance of the mall. So I was very fortunate to have him accept my invitation. I've known the mayor for many, many years when he was on the city council as a councilman, and have what I consider a pretty good relationship. And I'm just happy that he has felt that coming down to the Crenshaw community and speaking to us about what's going on with the city of Los Angeles is a good thing for him to do. And we think it is. He received a lot of support during the campaign from, in and around the Crenshaw community. And I believe it's just his way of giving back. He's a great person. He's a great mayor. We wish him well. We just want to see what he has in store for the Crenshaw community.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? I understand that he will be the first mayor to ever grace the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, I've talked to several of the previous chamber presidents, and to our knowledge, he is the very first one. So we're very, 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 very fortunate to have him. And, to go right along with it, we've got more RSVPs for this meeting than we've had for any of our
Can I put mine in right now?
Yes, come on, be my guest.
Yes, that would be wonderful. I was very excited when I got a call from Daniela. Hey to Daniela, to have you come down. I was very excited. And then to know, I'm finding out with doing the show that so many people tie in, like, Mrs. Hogan Rouse.
Yes.
And Michael Jones.
Yes.
I'm just so honored, and I feel blessed to be able to meet you all, and we're going to give out the great resources and things like that. So what do you have to do to join the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce?
You just go on our website, www.crenshawchamber.com, and there is a link for you to join. You go in, and it's by the number of employees that you have in your particular business. It's a tiered type membership, and you can just go right online and join like that. Or you can send me an email at armin.ross@crenshawchamber.com, and I will email you a membership application, and you can just write a check and send it in. We welcome you any way that you'll come.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. There was another question that I had. I was thinking about, yes, your background is stellar. I like that. Your background is really strong. And when you have such a strong background, then it makes you credible to the other members that are there. And I understand you're part of another great program, something about some grumpy people.
Yes. When I retired from the city in 2005 after we didn't win re-election with Mayor Jim Hahn, a couple of guys that I worked with at City Hall had already formed a company. It was called the Grumpy Old Men. And they asked me if I would join. I said yes. It is a land use planning company. We do entitlements. We also are government and community outreach specialists. Yes. We have many contacts with the local elected officials through campaigns and other sources. Yes. And we have clients such as 7-Eleven and other major corporations. We're working on a few others right now. So we assist developers in getting their projects through the process, which, as you might know, takes a long time in the city of Los Angeles. Yes. You need somebody to help shepherd it through. Right. And we're also working with the city to see if we can't streamline some of those processes also, yes, because right now it's costly and lengthy, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like that.
Oh, I understand that. Going back to the chamber, what are your goals for the chamber, and what would you like to see happen ultimately in the Crenshaw corridor?
I would just like to raise the profile of the chamber. I would like it to be a place that when people are visiting Los Angeles and they say, okay, what's the Crenshaw community about? They will refer them to the Crenshaw Chamber. Oh, yes. And that we can assist small businesses to stay in business and increase the profile of their business through the various programs that we can offer, some free, some at very, very low cost. And we want to educate the small business person so that they can one day expand their business, one day, merge with some larger businesses. And we also accept the major corporate businesses in our area, yes. Walmart, Sears, Kaiser. They're all members of the chamber, and we love them. The Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza is a member of the chamber as a whole. And Debbie Allen Dance Studio is a member of the chamber. And we welcome all of them. Right. We want that profile to be raised. We want people to see that there are good things happening in the Crenshaw community, and that they can be a part of that community. They will be welcomed, and we will assist them in any way possible. What
area does the Crenshaw, what are the boundaries?
Geographically, it's Washington Boulevard on the north, La Cienega on the west, Western Avenue on the east, and Florence Avenue on the south.
That's really big.
It's a nice area. I call it a boutique chamber because we don't have the luxury of having like the entire city of Long Beach or the entire city of Carson or Inglewood or Linwood or something like that. Right. And kind of the LA area chamber covers like the entire county, and we try to look at what they do as far as some political leadership for businesses in our city and advocate how they advocate, and we try to advocate the same way so that the businesses in our community can have a voice downtown and other places, same as businesses throughout the city and county of Los Angeles.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, I certainly thank you for coming in, and we want to make sure we give out that email address again and the website for the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce.
The website is www.crenshawchamber.com, and you can email me anytime, Armin Ross, that's ARMEN .Ross, ROSS, at CrenshawChamber.com, or give us a call, 323-293-2900.
That's wonderful. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to say in closing?
Just thank you for having me on your show. It's a wonderful show, and I hope that I haven't messed up too bad.
Oh, no, you've done a wonderful job. I messed up my friend's name. I started off wrong. It's supposed to be my show. And I just ripped it up. So I'm going to make up for that.
Okay.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
And as I tell everyone that comes here, my doors are always open to you when you have something going on. Email me. Let me know if you have something. If you can't make it in, and I will be happy to announce it for you. And we have my RSVP for lunch, right?
Yes, you do.
On the 17th.
Yes, you do.
That's going to be fun. So when you have these events, is anyone able to come, or you do have to RSVP?
Well, it's best to RSVP, especially for this event.
Yeah.
There's limited seating, and we're almost at capacity right now. So it's always best to RSVP and pay for your lunch in advance. That way you know you're going to have a seat,
Right.
and you know you're going to have your lunch. So I don't want to ever have to turn anybody away. Also, I want to be able to sell out every meeting as much as possible.
Right.
So, yes, it's always better to RSVP. But anybody in the community can come. It is a business meeting, so, we tend to cater towards businesses, and it's always going to be a business theme, but anybody in the community is welcome to come.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, thank you
again.
You know, I do appreciate you coming in, and again, the doors here in this community are always welcome to our friends at this Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce. I don't know, I'm having a problem saying that. We'll be right back with our friend Forrest. Thank you.
So many ways I can please. Hey,
What?
Hey, are you tired of those same old energy drinks with bad taste? Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products. For more information on Pitbull energy drinks, bars, and mixes, visit their website at hiphopbev.com. That's hiphopbev.com. Online orders available at hiphopbev.com.
And we are back in this community today. We have two wonderful and beautiful guests, Mr. Ross. We thank him for coming. And now we have Forrest Hogan Rolls. I got it right. You know, I struggled with it. It's been a while since we've seen each other.
Just not too long, but just long enough to mix my name up. That's okay, because I know you know me.
Yes. I have so much to speak with you about. I am so excited that you have made this beautiful book, Rise Financial Pathways for South LA. It was an economic forecast, and we had a beautiful luncheon. I was able to share and meet a lot of great people at your luncheon at the Walt Disney Concert Hall, y'all. She got it there. And tell us a little bit about your company and about this great book that I've read and that I can really appreciate.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for having me here. I am so excited to be here as well, and I know it's a long time coming, so it's a great time, and I think it's perfect timing. Rise Financial Pathways is a community development financial institution, a CDFI, and so we're a nonprofit, and we were designed to help meet unmet credit needs in South Los Angeles back over 20 years ago. And as a result of that, we started to work and get more requests. So after about 3 years, we actually expanded to meet unmet credit needs and do business development, savings programs, wealth creation programs throughout Los Angeles low-income communities. So that's our work. We help create jobs. We help expand businesses. We make small business and micro business loans, and that's what we do.
Wow, it's a great thing. When I went to the luncheon, I saw 2 or 3 of the people, the families, the individuals who have developed businesses with your help, and they were really almost at tears thanking you for the work that you've done.
We get that a lot. The people that come to visit with us typically have been turned down elsewhere for a business loan, or they went to another organization or another business entity that said they would help, and maybe they didn't get what they needed.
Right.
And typically, by the time they reach us, they are really, I won't say desperate, but really want true, honest assistance.
Right.
And that's what we do. And we actually ask you to empower yourself if you come,
Right.
so that you learn what we're doing, so that you walk away with that empowerment, with that self-confidence. And if you need a business loan, yes, a business loan. And if you don't, you get that technical assistance that you need. So what we typically do at our annual Power Luncheon is we highlight 2 or 3 folks that have done well that past year. And every year it's a new group of people. And I tell you, it's always a tearjerker because people are so sincere and they really appreciate the work that we do and the way that we deliver our services. We're right there in the community, and it just makes such a big difference.
And I was there with Sharice. I have to shout out Sharice Bellamy. And she nudged me, and I was kind of standing there, and she said, go share business cards with people. And so I was going around, I was sharing these business cards, and I was like, who are all these people? And when I got home, I had a stack full of business cards from bankers.
Yes.
So that makes you credible.
Thank you.
You had a room full of bankers there that believed in what you were saying, wanted to hear about the people and what you were doing, and what could they do to help? What could these banks in our community do to help?
Yeah, go ahead. Are you finished?
Well, I was going to say some of these banks weren't even in our communities, but they want to put money in. They want to raise the people's hopes and dreams and make their dreams realities through you because you are credible to us.
Thank you. The organization was designed as the first public-private partnership between the banks, the community, and the city of Los Angeles. And it was actually designed under one of our favorite old-time mayors, Mayor Bradley. And so he brought the largest banks that were at that time, over 20 years ago, based in the city of Los Angeles, and said, you guys have to do something about community reinvestment. And there's what we call the Community Reinvestment Act. And without getting too detailed, it is a requirement, a federal law that says that banks must invest in communities in which they do business.
Wow.
And so as a result of that, our organization has been a liaison, if you will, a financial intermediary, we're called, where we work with the banks work with us, and then we lend to the community, to people that typically haven't been able to do business with a bank. We also help people get bank accounts, start savings programs.
Right.
And so our commitment to the banking community is that we deliver the services, but then they have to invest in our work as well. And so that's been, sometimes challenging. Most of the time, when we talk about the Community Reinvestment Act, bankers, and I love bankers, but they will say, well, even if there wasn't a CRA, we would do this.
Right.
But sometimes I have to cringe and go, I'm not sure you would. So let's just keep the CRA intact.
Let's keep it there.
Yeah, let's just keep it there. So, but that's what we do. And we work with, on an average year, we work with anywhere from 30 to 40 banks. The banking world has shrunken over the past 6 years since the financial crisis, the national, I call it a lot of things, but the national credit financial debacle, all those things. But a lot of the banks have gone away or merged or had to file bankrupt. But we have continued to work with the banking community and identify ways in which we can actually partner, whether it's through micro-lending, small business development, technical assistance, savings programs, matched savings programs. And I do want to, I know I'm ongoing. I'm Melissa. I'm taking over your show.
Yes, go
Tell
ahead.
me to stop.
Take over.
There's one thing that's happening right now that I really want to ask people that are interested in creating a wealth program for their own families or themselves, called our Individual Development Account Program. The reason that's important is it's a matched savings program. So for every dollar you save, you will actually earn another $1.50.
Right.
So you put in $1,000, you'll get $1,500 back. And I know you've had our staff on your show to talk about that.
Hey, Fernando.
And so that's really important right now because we're looking for people to get into that program. So I do want to invite people to join that.
I had the flyers and I put them up in City Hall on the second floor in our traffic office, and they're all gone.
Good.
So people really looked at those. They saw the money on the tree. The flyers were actually very, there was something people would really pay attention to because they were like, why is this money on the tree? Does money grow on trees now? So it was actually pretty interesting. And I actually had my flyer here, but I don't see it. But all the flyers were gone. The people were very interested in the program. I told friends about it. I mean, it's a win-win. You put in your money and you get 1.5% of your money back. Well, no, 150% time.
Exactly.
And that's unheard of. That's not even a real number.
That's right.
I always say over 100% to bankers, and they're like, huh?
Right.
So yeah, it's not even realistic what you're doing, but it's such a great program. And when are we still taking?
We're taking people until June 30th.
Oh, June 30th.
So I really want people to get in there, and I don't want people to think you can just run off with the money. It is a program that's considered to be a wealth creation program. So for every dollar that you save, you'll get that match funds, but you can do three things. You can save it toward a purchase of a home.
Yes.
You can go back to school, or you can start your own business.
Yes.
So those are the things you can do with the money.
Yes, that's wonderful. I mean, it's a win-win either way
Yes,
you look
absolutely.
at it. And I know, not even with, I mean, I don't even have to look at my notes. I know, I have this number in my head that you've given back to the community over $20 million.
In direct actual lending, we've done a little more than $20 million. From our own loan programs, it's $10.2 million.
Wow, that's a big number.
Yes.
And
in
it's stuck
micro
right
loans.
in my head.
Yeah.
Wow,
In
that's
micro
amazing.
loans, yeah.
Because we speak about microloans, it's so interesting because this guide, which please tell us before I forget how we can see this online.
Of course. And Melissa's holding up our recently released South Los Angeles Economic Forecast. And I'm really proud of this piece of work. This is our first annual release. It was released about 7 weeks ago. And I tell you, we've gotten such good feedback, interaction with folks. People are using it, which was something I really wanted to happen. And what it is a summary of the 9 poorest census tracts in South Los Angeles, which actually encompasses an area of over 400,000 people. Almost 500,000 people live within the boundaries of the 10 freeway on the north, Alameda on the east, the 105 freeway on the south, and we took Crenshaw Boulevard as our boundary on the west.
Wow.
And within there, we analyzed what was going on within that community. And the reason we did that is because as a person also, I know Mr. Ross said earlier, he was born and raised in L.A. I am too.
Yes.
And as a person who grew up in the area, I'm constantly wondering what else can we do to change the nature of business investment, business development, infrastructure improvements. What could we do?
Right.
And often I think our neighbors and our residents of South L.A. Are not armed with the information that they really need to actually advocate for what we want.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted this report to do. This report is available on our website, which is www.risela.org. And you can also, we printed 1,000 copies. We've given them all out. And people are calling us almost every day to say, can I get another copy? And we have to refer them to the website. But what we did was we took the information, and for some people it's a hard read. Because it's the truth. I mean, we have over 225 liquor stores still in our community, which is about 4 times higher than the next neighboring community.
Wow.
And on average 3 times higher than anywhere else in the city of LA. So that's just one startling statistic. The other that I think just resonates is the number of banks we're lacking.
Yes.
In more affluent communities, there's one bank for every 10 to 15,000 people. In our community, it's one bank for every 25 to 50,000 people.
Wow.
So there's where you see the proliferation of payday lenders, predatory lenders, and the like. So when you start to look at where's our job creation, why do we have, and that's another thing we talk about, is our unemployment is 3 times higher than the rest of the city.
Wow.
So while we're excited that the unemployment has gone down in the city of Los Angeles, in South LA it has actually increased.
Wow.
So when you look at the number of businesses that are there to deliver the potential for job creation, Ours is smaller than anywhere else in the city. When you look at the economic investment in the 9 census tracts we identified, which are the poorest in South LA, there's not that commitment for infrastructure improvements and economic investment. And so those are the things that people can look at and say, wow. I mean, even one more, and I'll give it back to you. I'm sorry, Melissa. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. But the grocery stores.
Yes.
As our grocery stores continue to close and people continue to talk about healthy food, we really need fruit, we need to have access to healthy food, there's this shift to liquor stores, which are now renaming themselves mini markets.
Right.
And it's very difficult to get a fresh fruit selection
Right.
at a mini market, which is really a liquor store.
Right.
And so we just have witnessed several grocery stores closing in more affluent communities again. There's one grocery store for every 25,000 people.
Wow.
In our community, there's one for every 100,000 people.
Isn't that horrible?
So it's really a telling fact. Once you start to look at the data and you analyze it, it speaks to where we are and what kinds of things need to happen.
Another topic that you touched on was the fact that most owners that occupy in those that own in those 9 zip coded areas, they don't even live there. They're
Right.
renting out.
Right. Yeah. It's a high, what we consider to be a very high renter community. And we love renters. Let me
Yes,
say that.
yes.
But there's also a lot of data that supports it. When you have home ownership, communities fare better because those people that live there will advocate, they vote, they have interaction with the local stores.
Yes.
It's more of a stabilizing factor,
Right.
which is also why our organization over time, we're a nonprofit, we've pushed on home ownership in our communities.
Right.
I think the financial debacle from 2008 just sort of ruined everything. A lot of people had started with that because there were a lot of nonprofits engaged in home ownership, and we're trying to bounce that back.
Right.
But with a lot of the loans that went south and the crazy lending habits that were started back then, it's been more difficult to start home ownership programs in low-income communities. But that is a definite challenge for low-income communities to stabilize their neighborhoods.
You put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, we did. Thank you.
There are a lot of hard facts. Like she said, it's a hard read to know that we don't even have one hospital.
Right. That's another biggie. I know Mr. Ross talked about Kaiser coming, but it is not, he said, and it's true, there's not one emergency room in the entire South LA area. Isn't that crazy?
Horrible? It's horrible.
So if you have a heart attack and you got to go to a hospital, you got to go to Inglewood, or you got to go downtown LA, or you got to go to Long Beach. And even with the MLK hospital coming on board, it's still not in South LA. It's a
Right.
jump. It's about a, we measured that too, and you'll find it in the report. I
Yes.
encourage everybody to take the time to truly read it, because what you'll find is even if you're at the edge of South LA and you have to go to the hospital, if King Hospital is open, you still got about a 5-mile trek, 3 to 5 mile trek, depending on where your block was. So it's and there's not any urgent care centers in our area.
No,
not one.
There's not
Yeah.
one.
Now there's some clinics. I'm not sure you want to. I'm not going to say not. They may not be name brand clinics. There's a
Right.
few. You know,
Right.
Kaiser does have a facility in South LA. Healthcare Partners has one. But I think there's a perfect opportunity, and we don't just give you data and say go ahead and think for yourself. We actually make recommendations in there.
Oh, yes.
And one of the things that we did talk about was partnering with larger hospitals to deliver urgent care services and emergency services within our community, which we have seen done in other communities.
Yes. I mean, I was just so blown away by everything. All the information is here. It was just a wonderful day. I saved all these things like the salad, the entree,
Right.
the dessert. I love food. I mean,
It was
what can
good,
I say?
wasn't it?
Everything was wonderful. And I was especially impressed with Mr. Noel Massey.
Yes, from
He was
UPS.
a great speaker, and
Yes.
it just also showed me that you can start from the bottom and go to the top. He started at UPS as a regular
right.
guy, a
Yes,
regular
he
worker,
did.
and now he's over 11,000 employees. So we want to make sure we have these type of people, like
Yes.
say the mayor is going to speak the keynote keynote speakers are just wonderful. They hold your attention, and they're going to give us a lot of good information and things to build on in our personal lives as well as our business lives. So with that said, we're going to take a break, and then we have some exciting news. I think my friend here wants to make an announcement. Miss Rose wants to make an announcement. So she's going to make her announcement when we come back. We'll be right back.
Are you a diabetic? Need some energy? Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink is the healthiest, best-tasting energy drink around. For more information and online ordering with free shipping, please visit hiphopbev.com. Remember, Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, suitable for diabetics, great for everyone.
And we are back. We're back with Miss Rolls, and we want to make one more comment about the retail in the 9 zip code area.
Yes, one of the things that we thought would be perfect for business owners in the retail sector is we found and identified that the lowest retail sales in the year are during the summer months, July and August. And we thought, to encourage business owners to really advertise more, why not do a buy local campaign for the retailers during those summer months to encourage people to spend at home, spend in your neighborhood, and build retail sales for businesses. So in the report, there's a number of suggestions that we make, including ordinance changes, ideas to partner with larger corporations and look at ways to build the network of business within our community to create more jobs.
I have sort of a question. I'm not sure. Do you think that the city of LA would go out and find those companies to come in, or do the companies say we would like to go there? Or we
that's
just
always
don't
a
know how
tough call. We like to think that I know LA in the past has had a LA business team. I'm not sure that Mayor Garcetti has employed that same strategy going forward. We have large entities within the city of LA. You've got the Port of Los Angeles, LAX, Department of Water and Power. They're all entities that recruit business and do business on a regular basis. So, that's always been a challenge for the city of LA. I would like to think that we will develop that kind of strategy where we are marketing for other businesses to come here. I always hear about other cities marketing for our businesses to go there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. They do it all the time. Different states do it. Different cities do it. Because a lot of times what you find is businesses are very well operating in Southern California and their headquarters are here, but they can often save time. Mr. Ross talked about the red tape to get through, business at City Hall. Often it's much easier in other smaller cities. So we get people that are recruited away from the city of LA often. So I think we do have to develop a strategy.
Yes,
within
also
the city.
Because I saw a commercial and it said if you bring your business to New York State,
that's right,
you don't have to pay taxes for 10 years.
Yes.
I mean, and then we had Toyota just recently leave Torrance.
Right.
That's, I believe, 5,000 jobs over the next almost 2 years. So these things are affecting our community in California.
Right. Right.
So I understand you have an announcement. I'm so excited about this announcement. I've been waiting for you to say it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I am running for city council for the 8th district,
Yay!
which does cover South Los Angeles.
Wow.
I'm very excited about it. And I believe this is our time. This is our time. I'm excited because, like I say, I was born and raised here. I've watched our community. I've been on the side of community development for over 20 years.
Wow.
I was, went to school here at Loyola Marymount University, my undergraduate work, and Pepperdine University Graduate School. And so it's just, I feel like it's time.
It's time. And no doubt that your passion could pull you through the race. And I understand that all these bankers we had here, they wouldn't hurt. They would help.
No, they would. Right. We need them all to write a check. There you go.
Yes. So, I mean, you have a lot of backing, a lot of support. I mean,
Thank you.
I can see that. So what are your plans? What is the what does the road ahead, the next 13 months look like for you?
Well, the road ahead is, I call it a marathon, number one, because you have to stay at pace with what you have to do. I'm not independently wealthy where I can just quit and just run. I would love that if I could, but I'm not. So I have to work and I have to balance that with running for office. So it is an arduous task. Your heart has to be in it. I always say it's not for the faint at heart, and it's a tough road, but I believe in it. I believe that our political system should allow for people to run and be competitive and vote. And so what we're doing right now is we're raising money for the election. You have to raise a lot of money.
Yes.
There are limits in the city of LA, and so our maximum request is for people is $700 per person.
Okay.
So I say, well, my friends, they got to make payments, but it's good, because we got some time.
Right.
And then we have to get voters out. We have to get our message out. We do that a number of ways. We show up at all these different events and go door to door and, create political strategies that will get us to people that I believe are going to vote for us. And we win next March 2015.
March 2015. Yes. So what a great run. And what are some of your goals and plans for District 8?
Well, I've always looked at the infrastructure and why are our retail and business corridors lacking. Often we don't have the infrastructure needed, just like getting the internet in or having mechanized warehouses. The internet is very big. There's a lot of purchases made on the internet. I've always thought that could be an industrial corridor that houses warehouses where you could ship from, and that would also create some jobs. There's also this opportunity to bring in more health care and partnerships in that area for job creation.
Right.
Education is key, and utilizing our two community colleges better and partnering better for that job creation to happen. There are a network of city entities like the Work Source Center and the Work Investment Board, and connecting those dots a lot better, actually.
Right.
And more importantly, to bring more business into our community so that we're not what people often call a bedroom community, meaning we have a lot of people sleeping over there, but not a lot working.
Right.
So how do we create those businesses? And you talked about recruiting. That's one of my thoughts in doing that. Something we've done along the way is recruit the banks into our community to deliver, and just expanding that strategy to get more businesses into the community. There's a lot of vacant lots. I don't know if you guys remember this, but certainly Manchester and Broadway has been desolate for years, dilapidated. Manchester and Vermont, those are large retail corridors that have not been utilized. We have a lot of corridors that have been underutilized in terms of business development. And so that is one of my keys. Of course, there's also, we have a lot of issues,
Yes.
So there's this recidivism that's happening. A lot of people that term out of the foster care system, and we really need to look at how do we get them working, reducing crime, making sure the gang activity is kept at bay, working closely with LAPD, because if you don't have those things in place, business is tough to operate.
Right.
And when you look at how do you create jobs and how do you expand business, you have to have communities where people are willing to come and shop, work, and learn, right? And what we do on a quarterly basis within our organization is we do these community outreach days. And we go to businesses door to door and we ask them what they need. Well, one of the things I found, we do it throughout Los Angeles County. In our community, when you're trying to get into a business, it's not always easy because you got to knock or ring a bell. Whereas if you were in a more affluent community, I'm going to use Beverly Hills, you typically, you may because they don't want you to run off with your jewelry, right? But typically in a more affluent community, you don't have to ring the bell or look through security doors in order to get in.
Right.
In our community, you do, and it often will cause people to say, I'm just not going to shop there. Right. Or when you go past 2 or 3 guards to get in.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, oh, that must make me nervous because there's a guard standing here.
Right.
While I know it's meant for safety, often the image is negative.
Yes.
And so cleaning up some of those things so that we actually have a positive image of our community. I know a few years back it was changed from South Central officially to South LA. And then I got to thinking about it, actually, when I wrote this report, that South LA was San Pedro. Right? San Pedro was the South. Los Angeles, where South LA is, was just Los Angeles.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe we shake that whole idea and just become Los Angeles.
Right.
You know, we're the closest to downtown Los Angeles. We're right. You have to go through South LA to get to LAX. You have to go through South LA to get to the port.
Yes.
And if you're at LAX and you want to get to the train station, you pretty much have to go through South LA.
And it makes South LA sound like it's not included
Right.
with everyone else.
Exactly.
It has a sound of like them over there.
Right. It's an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yeah.
that sounds like a great idea because I've gotten out of the mode of saying South Central. And I say,
Yes.
oh, I'm not supposed to say that
Right.
because it has that stigma with
Exactly.
it. And like, of course, you say we want to erase that and say LA,
Right.
Los Angeles,
Right.
get businesses in, clean up the streets, bring up the morale of the people. Just, I mean, to have low morale and you're living your life, my
well,
God.
You know, the sidewalks are cracked and broken. We've got streets that haven't been paved for years. You know, trees that are lifting up the sidewalks. And sometimes the trash isn't picked up in some neighborhoods. I got a call the other day from somebody that said, I heard you're running. I want you to come and walk my block because you can't walk without falling or tripping over one of the sidewalks. I thought, wow, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. But, you know, having worked as a DWP commissioner, and some people think that's negative. You know, I'm going to say it's positive because they didn't pay me, but I learned so much about the city and the infrastructure of the city. And the city workers are so chastised often, and so many city workers do such a great job and work beyond the call of duty. And I have to say, my dad was a city worker. He was actually a city worker at DWP. He didn't see me become a commissioner, but I look at how our families were able to come from one economic run into another. Often it has been public sector jobs, particularly city, state, federal jobs. I mean, some of my uncle was a postal worker. My other uncle worked as an electrician at King Hospital. You know, so that's how our families allowed us to get to college. So when I look at that, I'm wondering, okay, if we get these infrastructure improvements happening, that's going to undoubtedly create some jobs, but it's also going to create a better quality environment for us to walk through our neighborhoods and feel safe and have confidence that when people come to visit us, we don't have to be embarrassed.
Right. Wow. Good stuff. Well, I want to thank you for coming in, and I would like to know if you have any closing comments, anything you would like the voters to know about you.
Well, I'm committed. I don't give up. You know, I'm open to listening. I tend to be a good listener. I had to learn that because, you see, I like to talk. So my mother was very committed to saying, you need to learn how to listen. So I do that. I think very well. And so I'm looking forward to working with people and meeting as many people as I can and working together after we're elected to make sure that we get the job done.
Yes, good stuff.
Thank
well, you're
you.
always welcome. Of course, you know that. In
Thank
our
you.
community.
I appreciate
and
it.
anytime you have an announcement or anything, or you tell Fernando Borja, I have to learn how to say his name too, to come on by, and you're always welcome here.
Thank you.
In our community, it's open to everyone. We want to give out good information and good resources. And can you give us the number one more time for RISE Financial
Sure.
Pathways?
RISE is 323-233-1900.
Okay.
And our website is risela.org.
Okay. Thank you. Well, we're going to be back with a few community events and things that are going on around our city. We'll be right back.
Are you a diabetic? Need some energy? Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink is the healthiest, best-tasting energy drink around. For more information and online ordering with free shipping, please visit hiphopbev.com. Remember, Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, suitable for diabetics, great for everyone.
In so many ways I can please. Hey, hey, hey.
and we're back with myself in Community with Me. I wanted to let everyone know about a few things that are going on around our town. A lot of great things you can do. You can go to Catalina Island. That's always a lot of fun. Get on the first boat, maybe Catalina Express, and go over and spend the day. There's so many great things to do. You can actually do bed and breakfast. You can wake up the next morning and enjoy your day there. There are a lot of golf carts, segways. You can parasail, jet ski, and snorkel and scuba dive, all on Catalina. Also, you can zip line. That's something I've been wanting to do. You can do ghost tours. You can do food tasting. And I hear they have buffalo burgers that I've never had before, but I love food. So when I go, I'm very sure I will try the buffalo burgers. They have Jeep tours and also Hummer tours. And I was driving home from Vegas recently, and I saw this big mega bus. And I understand that you can catch that mega bus to Vegas. So if you like to go to Vegas and you don't want to drive, these buses have Wi-Fi. They are amazing looking buses. They're all blue with with yellow, with a gentleman on the side of the bus. And I think it's $1 plus the fees. It may be $27 one way to go to Vegas, but these are some great trips, and they leave from Union Station, but they're all over the country. But ours would go to, say, San Francisco and to Vegas. Those are the two places that I know that they go, but they do serve all regions. So that was one thing that we wanted to talk about. And I was so honored to be invited by Frank Robinson and Rosina from Union Bank. They invited me to the grand opening of the Union Bank in Crenshaw High. This was a wonderful event. They had 13 interns that were able to work. They were able to get banking experience. They were able to work with others at such a young age, and this banking experience will take them different places. They can work all over the globe, and they're actually going to get a stipend for college at the end of this school year, which is coming up. So I'm going to invite 2 or 3 of those students to come in and tell us about their experience. They were very grateful and they were very gracious. It was a beautiful day. We had music and we had the Crenshaw Band. The principal of the school was there, and we had just a wonderful day. A few other things I wanted to tell you all about. Every Sunday, you can go put your $2 on the nose at the ponies at Santa Anita Racetrack. That's a lot of fun. And for $40, a family of 4 can come in and spend the day. You can bet on the races, and you can have a great day. The other things that are going on, again, I'm not always going to talk about food, but the food trucks are here. It's like the season for food trucks. Marina Del Rey, on every Thursday from 5 to 9, they have a lot of food trucks. It's metered parking, so just bring a bunch of quarters, and you can hang out there at the food trucks in the Marina Del Rey. And again, there are toy testers needed. If you have a child between the ages of 2 and 14, they're able to go to Mattel. That's at 333 Continental Boulevard. It's free. And at the end of their play date, they'll play with other children. They'll test out the toys for Mattel. They will get a gift or a gift card. So I thought that was really, really neat. There's so many things going on around town. Shark Lagoon is here from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All ages are able to go and enjoy Shark Lagoon at Aquarium of the Pacific. We love Aquarium of the Pacific because it's so close, and there are restaurants there. You can walk around, and it's completely and totally safe. So much to do in Long Beach. We have, I had this thing I wanted to talk about, but Flat Chica. She is the girlfriend of Flat Stanley. And the thing is, you cut out Flat Stanley, you can do it with your children, and you can mail it all around the world. And the next person that gets it mails it to the next person. They take a picture, you can upload it to a website. And I took Flat Chica Cadence and I went to Disneyland, and she went with us. And then I went to Miami, and Flat Chica went. And then we came back home. We saw a little girl in the post office with Flat Stanley. And I'm like, there's her boyfriend right there. So this is Flat Stanley's girlfriend. Cut her out for your children. You can I take her where we go when we go someplace special, and we take pictures and you can upload them. So that's always a lot of fun. We recently had USC School of Dentistry on. Dr. Sharon Faust and Cessia were here, and they talked about First Five. They talked about mommies to be, and that they're able to go to the dentist while they are pregnant. I thought that too, I learned so much on this show, that you are not to go to the dentist when you're pregnant because of the x-rays and things like that. But Dr. Faust, and I trust her, she says it is totally safe. She is a professor at USC, so that makes her credible for us, right? She's a great person, and we're going to invite her in again anytime she wants to come back. She's going to be able to come back. So we have a lot of events that go on at American Girl at the Grove. You can always take your little girls there. They have reading and they have brunch. When Christmas comes, they have Santa there. When Easter's there, they have the Easter Bunny. You're always able to take pictures. It's like a mommy and me date, and it's so much fun. So I don't know what else we're going to talk about. Have you seen Belle? Belle was a wonderful movie. I actually got to, I volunteered there at the NAACP at Landmark at the West Side Pavilion. And the actress was there. I don't want to mispronounce her name like I did Miss Roll's name earlier, but she was there and she did an amazing job. So if you see Belle, there's a lot of history there. And I was able to share a lot of emotions and things like that because it was a great movie, but it was also so touching to see what she had gone through. And her last descendant, which was her great-great-great-grandson, just passed away not so long ago in South Africa. So her lineage, it's gone. So we need to know about her and all the other great people that are in our history, that shared our history. I believe that's it. I have a couple minutes, and I want to make sure I say thank you to my guests, Miss Forrestly Hogan Rolls.
Thank you so much.
And Mr. Armin
Thank you so
Ross. I want to make sure that you know that the doors here are open to you. You're two great individuals that I look up to. Great information. I mean, I love it. Do you have any closing remarks?
I know. I'm just thankful, and please call Rise, and I look forward to seeing you and getting your support on the campaign trail.
Oh, yes. I'm going to support you and Mr. Ross.
Melissa, thank you for having me here today, and I welcome you to become a member of the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce. It will be on me. I think you're a very, very special person, and I want you to be a part of our chamber.
Oh, what a wonderful welcome. I appreciate that. And sign me up.
I will.
And we want all of our guests to always know that if you need help or you have resources that you might need some help and you need some information, I'll research as much as I can and try to get it to you. We had Operation 3801 here. Gwen has to come back. It was actually Gwen and Tommy. Great information, great resources. We talked about drug addiction. We talked about alcohol addiction. Today we talked about businesses, and we talked about a lady that looks just like us that's running for council. Such a strong lady. We need to support the people that we look up to as well. We need to become a crutch for them because they are a crutch to so many others. We thank you for coming into our community. What are you doing in your community? Well, we're getting back on track here, and we invite you to come down. communitywithme1@gmail.com is our address, our email address, and we're going to have some exciting guests next week. We're going to talk about the world of the pageants, beauty pageants. My friend is running one, and she just wants everyone to know that we're going to lift everyone up like we did today. We're going to continue to be helpful and to be resourceful in this community. We thank you, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.